Okay, we're looking at nets and surface area instruction. This is level F. I'm going through here, we're going to match three-dimensional figure with its net. So here we just got to identify what shapes are we seeing in the pyramid and how can we flatten it up on the net shape version. The shapes itself has become three-dimensional here. It does not change when we flatten it. So really here we want to make sure that we're recognizing a particular shape and matching it with a shape that we would see in the net version. So here I see an equilateral triangle. Which one of these shows an equilateral triangle? Right here. And then here I see an isosceles triangle. So here we're going to see a lot of, and then if you look at the base, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The base has a six-sided shape. And then here we see a base of a rectangle in the triangle here. So that would give us this shape. Okay, so now we're going to try to find the surface area of these three-dimensional figures. Here we are going to need to write things out because I see here we have multi-shapes that we could get the area for. So I'm going to bring up my little whiteboard and I'm going to identify what are some easy surface areas I could calculate. I see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different shapes. I could also make this one big rectangle and two smaller rectangles. So on my first rectangle, I see that we have one side, so I'm going to put down so I have my one rectangle, my big one, big. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on one side. And I can multiply that to the length of the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 6 times 10, which gives me 60. Now, my second rectangle, my small rectangle, I have 2 by 3. So 2 times 3, but I have 2 of them. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12 because I have 2 of them. And then I can add these together to 72. So I know my surface area is 72 feet square or inches square. Okay, so we want to identify what expression can show us the surface area of this prism. So we got to look here and see what makes sense. I see 2 right triangles, and the formula for a right triangle is 1/2 base times height. And then I have 3 rectangles, or 1 square, 2 rectangles, which I know the area of that, I'm going to add length times width. Now I have 2 triangles, so I know that I'm going to take the half of base times height and I got to multiply this by 2. I need to find the area first and then multiply it by 2. So I'm going to look for a formula or an expression that looks kind of similar to this. So I have this, and base times height right here. So if I can substitute, so I have 2 times 1/2 times 4 times 3 plus my length times width. So I have 3 times 4 plus 3 times 3 and 5 times 3. So I'm going to bring that on over. This should be on your paper. So I went ahead and I written out what it looks like and the measurements, and then I'm going to go over here and see which one makes sense. So I see here that right here I see a parentheses of 1/2 times 4 times 3, right here times 2 plus, 3 plus 5. 3 plus 3, no, that's not right. So then I'm looking here. Okay, I see this. 1/2 times 3 times 4. And this was plus plus. Actually, I needed the times. Multiply. 3 times 4. And then 3 times 5. 3 times 3. 3 times 4. It's right here. 3 times 3. 3 times 5. 3 times 4. And so this one makes sense. Okay, so since this is level 4, I'm still not using a calculator. I now have it all written. I got the right equation. Now I can just solve. So I know here we have 12. I know that these are going to cancel out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So 12 plus 12, which is 24. And then 9 plus 15. So that is 23, 24, 24, and then 24 plus 24 is 48. So I plug that in. Okay, so I'm seeing now that we're giving a natural three-dimensional box, and we need to find the surface area. Now I'm looking at all these numbers, and it is really going to be helpful if we're writing it out. Clear my canvas. All right, so I'm looking at this box, and I need to make sure I have the right dimensions all around the box. So I see I have this one square, which is 13 by 10, 10 by 13. And this is the front. I know on the other side it's going to be identical. So now I know I can multiply that and times 2. Okay, and so that's one of the sides. I'm going to go to the second side. Here I see this side is 10 by 4. 10 by 4. There's going to be this side, the left and the right, times 2. And then on the top and the bottom, this is 13 inches. So I know it's going to be 4 by 13. So 13 by 4. Double, top and bottom. So we have front to back, left to right, top to bottom. So now I can multiply. 10 times 13 is 130. Double that is 260. And then 10 times 4 is 40. Double that is 80. 10 times 4, okay, so here, 13 times 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1, 52. Oh, I should put that right here. 52. And then double 52 is 104. So 104. So 0 plus 0, now we're going to add all these right on the paper. 0, 0 plus 4, 4. 6 plus 8 is 14, so 4, carry the 1. So now I have 3 plus 1 is 4. So 444. We're going to plug that in. There you go.